Astro Love Check for Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. Today, I'm devoting myself to arguably the most glamorous and fiery couple in Hollywood history, the battling Burtons. I was curious to see how much of the drama would be reflected in the horoscope comparison. Between Liz and Richard, the stars told a story that felt almost operatic, grand, consuming, and destined to repeat itself until every layer of passion and pain had been lived through. Liz, born under the sign of Pisces, carried the mystique of water, fluid, intuitive, elusive. Her ascendant in Sagittarius had given her fire beneath that softness, an adventurous, searching soul who could not be contained for long. The world had seen her beauty. Few had understood the depth behind those eyes that reflected both longing and wisdom. Her moon in Scorpio had intensified this. She loved with her entire being without safety nets. For her, love had never been a pastime, it was an initiation. Richard, with his sun in Scorpio, had mirrored that depth. When two souls met who both spoke the language of Scorpio, the connection became magnetic, even dangerous. Each saw in the other what they feared and desired most. His Saturn conjunct her sun had pulled them into karmic gravity, a bond not easily broken. Duty, commitment, and the weight of shared history became threads that tied and tightened until they had to tear apart, only to find each other again. Richard's Venus and Jupiter in Capricorn had added structure to Elizabeth's emotional ocean. He needed control, form, something to hold on to when her Piscean waves threatened to wash everything away. Yet her Venus and Uranus in Aries had demanded freedom, intensity, newness. Between them, there had always been this dance of holding on and letting go, of passion fighting stability. Elizabeth Mercury in Pisces and Richard's in Sagittarius had created a fascinating tension. She had felt words, while he had spoken them. She had dreamed, he had declared. Together they had oscillated between misunderstanding and miraculous connection, where one unfinished sentence could mean everything. With Liz's Mars also in Pisces, her passion had expressed itself through emotion, imagination, and longing. Richard's Mars in Libra had sought balance and beauty. He fought with charm, argued with eloquence, and seduced through intellect. Yet beneath it all, their shared Pluto in Cancer had bound them to an emotional destiny that went far beyond one lifetime. Their synastry had been filled with oppositions and echoes, a mirror of their real lives, marrying twice, separating twice. It had never been a failure. It had been a cosmic rehearsal for love in its rawest form. For both, the relationship had acted like a crucible, transforming pain into art, desire into devotion, and chaos into a kind of sacred intimacy. Liz's midheaven in Libra had shown how her public image was entwined with beauty and partnership. She had been born to be seen as half of an iconic couple, even if that idealized picture was forever tested by reality. Her Sagittarius rising had made her larger than life, unable to hide from her own myth. Neptune is strongly emphasized in both horoscopes, and since alcohol and drug abuse played a formative role in their lives, I would like to focus on this influence in particular. Liz had Neptune in Virgo, a placement of conflict between order and dissolution. Virgo seeks structure, clarity, and precision. Neptune brings mist, faith, and the longing to transcend. This combination made her both sensitive and restless. She yearned to perfect life, to heal what was broken, yet reality never matched her vision. When it hurt too much, she escaped into imagination, emotion, or later, into substances. Her Pisces sun already made her porous, empathetic, and deeply emotional. Neptune in Virgo added a quiet contradiction, the healer who could not heal herself. She wanted control, yet longed to surrender. She sought purity, yet found herself drawn into chaos. With her Scorpio moon, her emotions ran to extremes. She didn't just feel love, she dissolved in it. To her, Passion became both devotion and anesthesia. Richard's Neptune in Leo belonged to a generation marked by glamour, drama, and the myth of eternal romance. Neptune in Leo veiled the ego. It created the illusion that one must perform in order to be loved. When the applause faded, emptiness appeared. He carried within him the archetype of the lover and the savior. Yet behind the charisma was a man haunted by longing, for meaning, for beauty, for peace. His Neptune made him both inspiring and self-destructive. He sought transcendence through feeling, admiration, and sometimes through intoxication. It gave him creativity, charm, and the ability to project emotion like light through glass, but it also blurred the boundaries between reality and dream. Together, their Neptunes created a field of illusion, beauty, and addiction. Each saw in the other what they most longed for, and what they could never fully possess. Richard's Neptune in Leo idealized Liz. She became for him the goddess, the dream, the unreachable muse. Liz, with her Pisces sun, was deeply susceptible to that. She felt seen and worshipped, yet also dissolved in his gaze. Their love had the quality of a mirage, breathtaking from afar, dissolving when touched. They met in dreams more than in daylight. Neptune between them blurred the line between love and escape, devotion and dependency. It was the same force that made them legendary, and the one that ultimately consumed them. Through each other, they touched the divine, but could not stay there. Thanks for listening. I'd appreciate a subscription and a like, and if you're interested in a couple's analysis, leave me a comment. May the stars brightly light your path.